$800 a month. That number is everywhere. YouTube thumbnails, Reddit threads, expat blogs. Retire in Georgia for $800 a month. Jim and Carol saw it too. They're from rural Michigan. They have $3,200 a month between them and $90,000 in savings. And they had one question: is that number real, or is somebody lying to them? Coming up, the soup dumpling you eat with your hands that Jim almost ruined. The real number a couple needs to live well here. The visa rule that sounds too good to be true, but actually is. The tax headline that's half a lie. And the one thing about this country that nobody in the expat videos warns you about. Georgia. Not the Peach State, the other one. Nestled between the Caucasus Mountains and the Black Sea, bordered by Russia to the north and Turkey to the south. It is, depending on who you ask, the crossroads of Europe and Asia, or the edge of the world, in the best possible way. Tbilisi is the capital, about 1.5 million people. The old town, Abanotubani, is a maze of sulfur bathhouses, vine-draped wooden balconies, and Orthodox churches that have been standing since the 5th century. Persian arches next to Soviet apartment blocks next to a glass and steel bridge that looks like it landed from a different planet. It shouldn't work. It absolutely works. The first morning, Jim and Carol find a bakery. Not a cafe, a bakery, with a clay oven sunk into the floor called a tone. The baker slaps raw dough against the inside wall of the oven with his bare arm. 30 seconds later, he peels out a long, blistered flatbread called Khachapuri. It costs about 30 cents. It tastes like bread is supposed to taste, and mostly doesn't anymore. Then come the Khinkali, thick, pleated soup dumplings, spiced beef and pork inside, hot broth sealed in. You pick them up by the doughy knob at the top called the kudi. You bite in carefully. The broth rushes out. Jim does not bite in carefully. Carol finds this very funny. The knob you discard. Cutlery is not involved. This is not negotiable. Then there's Khachapuri. The Ajaruli version is boat-shaped. A bread boat filled with melted cheese, a pat of butter, and a raw egg yolk dropped in at the table. You mix it yourself and tear off pieces of crust to dip. Carol orders one expecting a snack. It arrives the size of a small surfboard. She does not finish it. She tries again the next day. The wine. Georgia claims to be the birthplace of wine, and they have 8,000 years of evidence to back that up. The traditional method uses krevri, large clay vessels buried underground, where the grape juice ferments with the skins for months. The result is amber wine, tannic, complex, unlike anything sold in a Michigan grocery store. A good bottle at a restaurant, $5 to $15. The Dezerter Bazaar is Tbilisi's main open market. Churchkela hanging in rows, walnuts threaded on string and dipped in grape juice until they form a chewy, sweet, savory candy. Pickles in every color. Spices Jim can't name. Fresh produce that costs a fraction of what it does in Michigan. Carol buys a bag of things she doesn't entirely recognize. She figures she'll work it out at home. The rhythm here is different. Cafes stay open until 2 in the morning. Dinner starts at 9. And the supra, the traditional Georgian feast, can run 4 hours, presided over by a tamada, a toastmaster, who leads toast after toast celebrating life, friendship, the guests, the ancestors. You don't eat alone in Georgia. Within 2 weeks of arriving, Jim and Carol are invited to a neighbor's supra. They haven't finished unpacking. Jim and Carol have been married 41 years. They're from rural Michigan. Together, they bring in $3,200 a month in Social Security, combined, plus $90,000 in savings. In Michigan, that's tight. In Tbilisi, it's a different conversation entirely. They're not desperate. They're curious. There's a difference, and it changes everything about how you travel. So, the $800 question, Here's the honest answer. For a single person, living outside the city center and cooking every meal, you can get close to 800, maybe, for a couple paying rent in Tbilisi in 2026. The verified floor is $1,200 to $1,800 a month. The 800 figure comes from pre-2022 data, or from people who already own their apartment. It's not a lie exactly, it's just not your situation. Here's what $1,400 actually buys a couple in Tbilisi. Rent for a furnished one-bedroom in a mid-range neighborhood like Saburtalo, $450 to $550 a month. Groceries for two, shopping at local markets, $400 to $500. Utilities, electricity, water, heating, $75. Transport, $15 for a monthly pass. Phone plans, $10 each. Healthcare insurance, $100 to $200 for both. That's your $1,400, and you still have money left for wine. Jim and Carol have $3,200 a month. That's $1,800 more than the comfortable floor. In Tbilisi, that gap buys a central apartment with a mountain view, dinner out 4 nights a week, weekend trips to the wine country in Khachapuri, and still puts $1,000 a month into savings. They are not roughing it. They are living better than they did in Michigan for half the cost. The visa situation is genuinely extraordinary. U.S. citizens can enter Georgia and stay for up to 365 days. No visa, no application, no income threshold, no registration. Just land and stay. The clock resets on each new entry. The U.S. State Department confirmed this in 2025, and it was reissued in 2026. There is no other country in the world that offers Americans this combination of ease and duration. One new requirement as of January 2026, all tourists entering Georgia must carry a health and accident insurance policy compliant with Decree 602. Minimum coverage of 30,000 GEL, roughly $11,000 for the full duration of stay. Most blog posts written before 2025 don't mention this. Budget about $50 to $100 a month per person for a solid local plan. For Jim and Carol, that's $100 to $200 total, already in the budget we just showed you. Healthcare. In Tbilisi's private clinics, MediClub Georgia, Health House, Evex, a specialist visit cost $15 to $30. A blood test, $3 to $5. Many expats just pay cash for routine care. For anything serious, the realistic option is medical evacuation to Istanbul, 2.5 hours by air. That's why your international insurance needs evacuation coverage, not just a cheap local plan. Rural Georgia and Batumi have significantly weaker infrastructure. Know the difference before you go. If you're enjoying following Jim and Carol's journey and want to see where the crew ends up next, hit subscribe. We rotate through the whole cast: Dave, Linda, Robert, Jim, and Carol. Different places, same honest look. It's free, and it helps more than you'd think. Now, the tax headline. You've seen it. Move to Georgia and pay 0% tax. Here's the truth. Georgia's territorial tax system is real. Income earned outside Georgia is not taxed by Georgia. But the United States is one of only 2 countries in the world that taxes its citizens on worldwide income regardless of where they live. Moving to Georgia does not change your obligation to file a U.S. federal tax return every year. Social Security income is not sheltered by the Foreign Earned Income exclusion. There is no U.S.-Georgia tax treaty. The 0% headline is accurate for non-Americans. For Jim and Carol, it changes nothing about their IRS bill. Banking. Georgian banks participate in the Common Reporting Standard and report account balances to your country of tax residency. U.S. citizens with foreign accounts above $10,000 in aggregate must file an FBAR. Above $50,000, Form 8938. Use WISE for transfers, Schwab for fee-free ATM withdrawals, and talk to a U.S. expat CPA before you go, not after. This is the part where the internet gets people into trouble. Safety. The U.S. State Department rates Georgia Level 1, exercise normal precautions. That's the safest possible category, same as France or Japan. However, South Ossetia and Abkhazia are Level 4, do not travel. Russian troops occupy both regions. The boundary lines are difficult to identify on the ground. Do not approach within 5 kilometers of those territories. Tbilisi and Batumi are nowhere near them. But know where they are on a map before you rent a car and go exploring. The language, Georgian, Kartuli, has its own script that looks like nothing you've ever seen. It's considered one of the world's most difficult languages. In central Tbilisi, English is increasingly common, especially among younger people. Outside the capital, Russian is the second language, not English. Signs are improving, but not universal. Jim and Carol's honest assessment after 2 weeks. Navigable in the city center, humbling everywhere else. They've started learning 5 words a day. Carol is ahead. The distance. Michigan to Tbilisi is not a quick flight. There are no direct flights from the U.S. You connect through Istanbul, Frankfurt, or Vienna. Budget $700 to $1,200 round trip. And the grandkids are not a short drive away anymore. That's real. Jim and Carol talk about it. They don't pretend it isn't a cost. They just weigh it against everything else. One more thing about the prices. If you read a blog post from 2021 saying you can live in Tbilisi on $600 a month, adjust those numbers up 30 to 50%. When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, hundreds of thousands of Russians and Ukrainians relocated to Georgia almost overnight, spiking rents and costs. Prices stabilized by 2025 but did not go back. The fundamentals are still extraordinary. But this isn't 2019 anymore. So, the verdict. Is $800 a month real? For a couple paying rent in Tbilisi in 2026, no. The honest floor is $1,400. Is $1,400 extraordinary? Absolutely. That same budget buys you half as much in Lisbon or Bangkok today. Jim and Carol's $3,200 a month puts them in a different category entirely. Central apartment, mountain views, 4 dinners out a week, weekend wine country, $1,000 a month still going into savings. Georgia doesn't promise an escape from America. It promises a different life at a fraction of the cost, with a warmth that most Americans have stopped expecting from strangers. The neighbors invite you to a 4-hour feast before you've unpacked. The wine is $8 and it's remarkable. The alphabet looks like it came from another dimension. And the U.S. government will still want its tax return every April, no matter how far away you are. That's the deal. It's still a pretty good deal. If Georgia surprised you, wait until you see what we found in Portugal and Croatia. Same format, same honest numbers, very different lives. Those videos are already up. Links in the description. Now we want to hear from you. Which of our 4 characters are you closest to? Dave, stretching 1,800, Linda, looking for community, Robert, watching his health costs, or Jim and Carol trying to make 3,200 go further. And if you've looked at Georgia, or somewhere equally unexpected, drop it in the comments. We read every one. Jim and Carol are still in Tbilisi. Last we heard, Carol had mastered 10 words of Georgian. Jim had mastered 1, the word for wine. He considers this sufficient. We'll check back in. Tbilisi, where the wine is older than Rome, the food will ruin you for everything else, and $3,200 a month makes you feel, for the first time in a long time, like you made the right call.